Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Linus Sijenyi. Thank you very much. I had the opportunity to visit the MJK Park, and I got a shock of my life. For one, I saw the end of the railway line. I saw the end of the road. I saw a place that you can't go past this. For a moment, I was shocked and emotional, and I asked myself, why? Why such status for more than 70 years? And I asked myself, are we doing enough to restore peace? That disturbed me in my visit, but again, it is an opportunity for us to learn and to see how well can we bring peace amongst ourselves. It was a sad incident for me, but again, it taught me the beauty of having peace, the fact that peace is priceless, that we need to do all that we can to ensure that we live in a peaceful society. Thank you very much. UN Habitat, as one of the United Nations agencies, is a United Nations agency on sustainable urbanization. Ours is urbanization, is cities, and we are directly responsible for goal number 11 in SDGs, but of course we are cross-cutting, so our work is in the cities, urbanizing world, and how can we be responsive in the continuously growing cities and urban centers. Thank you. Again, it was a pleasure to visit the MJ Park. I know all the countries, both South and North Korea, are all member states of the United Nations, and they are all signatories to the various treaties that advocate for peace, for coexistence, and to adhere to the human rights. And we believe that UN is doing what they can, but they can do much more to bring lasting peace between the North and the South. I think a lot needs to be done to ensure that there's peaceful coexistence, and UN has an active role to play in that effect. For unification of the North and the South, in our programs, we have used sports as a mobilization tool. For instance, football that brings young people from across board, young people without borders. So I think sports could be an entry point where we can organize a youth sporting event involving South, North Korea, and maybe Japan, and we run a tournament. Through that, we can be able to share our different ideas on how to get sustainable peace, and also continuously engage on youth forums. We organize youth exchange programs, and the young people can see the benefits of peace, and we can be able to leverage on that. But again, and I'm happy that the countries in Asia have really emphasized on education. And I think that should be also a rallying call, that young people should be able to get modern education. Somebody who is educated can be able to reason and to see that whatever we are doing is right or wrong. So to me, it is education, it is joint youth programs, including exchange program and education. Thank you. The unification of peace is the starting point. Without peace, we cannot do anything. Without peace, it is zero. So starting with the peace is the first step, and it will be the rolling call all through. So if you don't have peace, you cannot progress. If progress and somehow we miss peace in between, then we realize all the gains we've made are going to be lost. And therefore, peace is cutting across, even in achieving all the entire UN SDGs and also in the world. So peace is the constant factor, that we must have a peaceful coexistence society for us to be able to deliver on the SDGs and even various countries' mandates. I thank you. Like I mentioned in my statement yesterday, to achieve the SDGs, I highlighted 4 points. That one, young people must advocate to have policies that are youth-friendly, that advocate for the youth rights. 2, young people should be in the forefront to get an adequate data, aggregate time on data that able to speak about the young people. 3, we need to advocate to have resources and finances to support our initiatives. And lastly, we need to domesticate the SDGs. SDGs are 17 in number. We need to develop popular versions per country. How do we understand the various 17 goals so that every young person in various countries can be able to resonate with the various goals? So we need to domesticate them and develop what we call the popular versions. With that, but peace is the rallying call across board. That without peace we will be able to do very little, and therefore we have to maintain peace at all levels, and therefore then thereafter engage at the various levels of making sure that we engage our policy makers to develop policies that are youth friendly, to ensure that we have data that is responsive to our issues and talking to us, and we lobby to have sufficient resources for our activities, and lastly to domesticate the 17 SDG goals. I thank you very much, and thank you very much for the opportunity.